All right, now let's. Our business editor, John McCoy, recently sat down with Olumide Balogun, that's the director for West Africa at Google, to discuss one of the most critical issues shaping Nigeria's tech future, building a robust AI workforce. The conversation delves into strategies for developing and localizing homegrown talent. Take a listen.
How technology essentially can help accelerate industrialization. So how do we help get businesses from, nano to micro, micro to small, medium enterprises in a way that they can truly industrialize? So it's really how technology can be an enabler for that. I definitely think artificial intelligence is one of the very key technology tools that we can employ, but there are several as well. I think they are, in fact, I think significant hurdles. But we also need to keep in mind the opportunity, because I think that's what gives us the inspiration, I think, to keep pushing. As a company, all we think about is how do we help unlock economic opportunity for people, for businesses, and how do we work with the government as well? The government has a $1 trillion agenda, and we think that there's definitely things that technology can do in that light. I mean, as you said, skilling is one of the places that we think is a foundation. In particular, STEM education is critical, and so we've spent a lot of time doing that over the last few years. I'm proud to say that we've trained about 5 billion people. We started by doing basic digital skills training, just to get people to understand, just basic understanding of technology and digital, and how we can help them further their agenda, whether they're a student, whether you're going into a career, whether you're a business. And what we've done, I think, in the last couple of years is really go deeper. And so some people have asked me, you used to announce millions, now you do hundreds of thousands. And it's because we're going deeper, and we feel like we're now at the stage where we want people to get the type of skills that can help them get a job, or that they can apply to their business right now and they can help their business scale. So last year we announced 20,000 initiative to train youth, women and girls, because we think that there is an outsized disenfranchisement that's happening with women and girls. And so we continue to do that, and we're already seeing very, very incredible results. We did 10,300 businesses in a program we call the Hustle Academy, that essentially helps businesses get the technology and the digital skills that they need. We're already seeing that 80% of those businesses are already reporting an outsized increase in revenue. They're building structures now that's helping them have greater longevity. And we're really excited for what the future holds. As I said, we're very confident that the entrepreneurial dexterity, the resilience is there. We now need to do what we can to empower as many people as possible. We're supportive of the 3MTT, the 3 million technical talents. We've also announced, I think with the minister, we think that's an incredible initiative and a vision that we truly think that a lot of people should support and get behind.
So what sectors would you say have been most responsive, to your efforts in the empowerment and adaptation of technology?
So a lot of the time what we see is that there's businesses that we call them pure players, and we call them pure players because they can start and finish everything online. So essentially they can start everything from finding a customer to delivering a service online. So they're mostly people who sell digital goods or digital services. But we're starting to see a lot of uptake as well from brick and mortar type businesses, or businesses that we call traditional businesses. And then there's some in the middle that we call hybrid. So they're a mixture of businesses who use a lot of digital, but they still need some form of physical presence to essentially deliver. They need some form of physical presence, to deliver their goods to their customers. So I'll say that the pure players are the ones that the adoption is and the uptake is the fastest, of course, because that they see that the outsized impact is shorter. And then we see that the hybrid are also starting to really adopt these tools and take advantage of these opportunities. And traditional, quite a bit of work, I think, to do there. But again, we're very, very committed to the cause. We continue to see how, we can help accelerate skilling, raise the level technology knowledge, I think, across the ecosystem. And I think that if we do that, I think that, a $1 trillion economy would be something that's just very feasible for us to achieve.
Doesn't mean we can be expecting, e-commerce to take over the services. We saw an improvement in the services sector in our last GDP.
Your comment on services, we're already seeing that services is a significant percentage of our GDP at the moment. So that's something that we're already seeing happening, I think, here in Nigeria. But I'm speaking more specifically to businesses. For example, there's people who sell, online skills, for example. So they're prospecting. So if you think about a lot of the people who at the moment sell digital education, if I could call it that. So they prospect customers, you sign up for a course, you join the entirety of the course online. In most cases don't need to go into any physical room. Those businesses are businesses that essentially we see that the uptake is most rapid. But as I said, there's other types of businesses where you start from prospecting the customer online, but at some point there is some physical good that needs to exchange hands, and that again is an area that we continue to see how we can essentially help people there to get the technology tools that they need, to accelerate their business.
So, we know that we have skills, AI, technology skills in the country, but what about the issue of customizing those skills to actually solve the Nigerian issues and challenges? So who should we put at the helm of affairs here? Who should coordinate these efforts?
I think there is a lot of skills that we have, but I think there's standardization that's required. So, for example, somebody could have 1 month of apprenticeship and open up a shop, and he or she is looking to compete with somebody who has been in business maybe or been doing that same, offering that same service for many years. So I do think that there's some level of standardization that we need to see. Again, I think that is an area where technology can play a role. I just shared on the panel that there is a great idea that we can, maybe potentially push forward as we could call it a Nigeria Open Industrial Data System, where, for example, every business that provides a service to a small business is required to get APIs that a credit organization can call. So let's talk about the skilling that you said. If I own a shop and I have gone to get the requisite skill from an institution that is recognized by the government, and that institution has certified me, that institution can have an API that a credit lending facility can call and say, this person is asking for a loan. Have they got into the minimum required skill level that's necessary for me to say that their credit worthiness number is high enough to get a loan? And that could happen for anything. It could happen for energy, for example. Can we get APIs that can from PHCN or even private power suppliers who would say, look at how much this person has been spending as a business on power, or your invoice. We can call and see what is your invoicing, your receipts, and based on this body of data, we can start building credit ratings. I think for businesses, because the access to finance is one of the biggest problems that you see that businesses have right now. So when we provide the skills, of course, as I said, the government is doing a lot there as well, with support from private entities such as ours. We want to make sure that they can get the needed finance that they need as well to be able to scale their business. And I think technology can play a really solid role.